Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be playing something a little bit more fun this time. And today we're going to be playing Mega Dragalge with Mega Froslass. Mega Dragalge is one of the new Megas from the most recent set, and honestly I didn't think I was going to end up doing a video on it because I thought, it's alright, but there's lots of ways to really play around it, and that's kind of what can affect it in a way. But after some testing and playing this particular list that I've got here, I've been really having a lot of fun. However, there is one auto loss, which I've already mentioned to Chef Husky, and he was quite happy about it. So as per usual, in the description below, there's the usual links. There'll be the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play, and of course the outro and what I think of the deck. So of course today we're going to be playing the Stage 1 Mega Dragalge EX. And honestly, I kind of like Dragalge as a Pokemon. I do think it's a pretty interesting dragon-type Pokemon because it's Poison and Dragon. Bit like Eternatus. And we have two attacks here today. Now, the first one I thought was actually pretty cracked until I checked the ruling. Unfortunately, if your opponent is playing Mist Energy, this won't work. So, yeah, we've had to chuck an E-Hammer in here and just hope, it's that sort of deck, unfortunately. But discarding all Pokemon tools and special energy from your opponent's Pokemon could be... It's one of those, it's really interesting, but... honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. Then, of course, we have the main attack for a Water and a Dark Pernicious Poison, or however the hell you say it. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon Checkup, place 16 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. This is a pretty powerful poison effect, and whilst we aren't playing the likes of Pecharunt, because we don't really have a way to take advantage of it, because it's not like this card inflicts the poison and then goes into another Pokemon, a bit like a hit and run sort of thing. We don't get that luxury. So I've kind of kept this list bare bones and just kept it to Pernicious Poison with a backup attacker and with the Stadium of Perilous Jungle. And that's mainly what I think you should stick to. Adding in, the likes of Pecharunt means you have to add in Dark type support, potentially, Pecharunt EX just to help pivot around, but then you can't take advantage of that with Dragalge because it's a Dragon type, not a Dark type. So yeah, there's a few things to consider with this card. Obviously, the main thing that you need to consider is, of course, a decent backup attacker, and I landed on Mega Froslass EX. After doing my homework with Mr. Chef Husky's videos, I've learned that Mega Froslass is actually quite difficult for, the likes of Team Rocket Box to actually deal with. Depending on the variant, of course. Some variants can handle it, some variants can't. Resentful Refrain obviously does 50 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. We have covered this card on the channel before, so that's something to consider. But honestly, this is a pretty nice card, and, we are playing Water Energy anyway, so it just felt like the most simplistic option to include as a backup attacker. I didn't really want to play Mega Lopunny, because, I'm kind of bored of playing Mega Lopunny, I'll be honest, as like a backup attacker. So I thought, well, why not change it up, and we'll try Mega Froslass. Obviously, to accommodate the deck, since we are playing Dark Energy anyway, we are playing Munkidoris in here. We have 2 monkeys. This is mainly just for a bit of healing. Munkidori is just here to help us out with a little bit of extra healing, but, also chucking damage counters around is pretty good to have. And it just makes sense, We're not playing any Psychic Energy, of course, to accommodate for the Munkidori's Mind Bend. Other than that, though, we have a Dudunsparce engine, as you'd expect. We also have the EX in here, which I've decided to add in. And then, of course, for a backup attacker as a single prizer, we have a Hops Cramorant in here. We only cap at 120, though. We're not playing any damage mods for this guy, but we can still take advantage of it. But honestly, this has been a really fun list to test, and even though we do kind of struggle into some matchups, which is why, we've had to add this in, i.e. the Mega Lopunny decks, because... like I say, I had to check the ruling on Corrosive Liquid with Mist Energy. Mist Energy just completely stops it, so that's why we have to play this sort of thing. But honestly, I'm really happy with how Mega Dragalge has been in testing, same with Mega Froslass. So, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a proper look. And welcome to the deck list. This is a really interesting deck, like I said, in testing, and honestly, I'm really happy with it. It's a deck that, it's taken a bit of time for, me to develop it, but I've landed on some pretty, handy backup attackers, and obviously, we have the Munkidoris in here, which is why the Dark counts at 5. We do have a lot going for us here. So, of course, we're playing 3 Snowrunts, 2 Mega Froslass, 3 Dunsparces, 2 Dudunsparce and 1 Dudunsparce EX, 3 Skrelp, 2 Mega Dragalge, 2 Munkidori, 1 Meowth, and 1 Hops Cramorant. I've not added in a Fez to this list, which so far in testing I've not needed Fez, but if you want to add Fez in, feel free, but I've not needed it so far. Then of course, 4 Lillies, 2 Hilda, 2 Crispin, 2 Boss, 2 Lucian, and 1 of the new Roxie's Performance. She's not just here to play a guitar, she actually is pretty good in this deck. During your opponent's next turn, their poison Pokemon can't retreat. Now, of course, if they play a switch out, like, Switch, Surfer, things like that, they can retreat, but a lot of the time, decks aren't really playing that. So, Roxie's Performance is kind of here just to help us out a little bit. Then, of course, we have 4 Buddy Poffin, 3 Poké Pads, 3 Ultra Balls, 2 Night Stretcher, 1 Enhanced Hammer, 1 Air Balloon, mainly for the Dragalge because of its 2 retreat cost, 3 Perilous Jungle, which during Pokemon Checkup put 2 more damage counters on each poison non-dark Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Obviously, we're only poisoning our opponent's Pokemon, so that brings it up to 18 damage counters, which does actually put us over the line of the likes of Lucario and stuff like that. Then, of course, 5 Dark Energy, 4 Water Energy, and Legacy Energy as the A-Spec. Couldn't really decide on an A-Spec for this deck, and I'll be honest, I did debate Enriching Energy. But the issue is with Enriching Energy is that's your turn attachment, and if you're not getting turn attachment onto your Dragalge or anything like that, that can be pretty tough. Now, we are playing Crispin, so this is something you could consider, you could consider, like I say, a way to, get extra energy on the board like Crispin, and then you could play Enriching Energy. The issue is I find playing Enriching Energy might be a bit of a trap. We can force our opponent to go through a 2-prize Dragalge, a 3-prize Dragalge, and then another 3-prize Froslass. So, we do have that going for us with Legacy Energy because we're playing Mega Pokemon. And like I say, if we're going Hops Cramorant with Legacy Energy into a boss for our opponent, they kind of have to respond to Hops Cramorant. Unless they can take a fat number of prize cards in a turn, Hops Cramorant with a Legacy Energy could be pretty good to have. Now, there are a couple of things that I would like in this list. Obviously, we are playing Lucian as our hand disruption here. We're not playing any peaking or seeking, well, I call it peaking red card, the special red card. Now, we're only playing Lucian because of the Mega Froslass. You could consider a red card just to, in case you're not using Froslass in a particular matchup. But I think Lucian is fine because if your opponent draws 6 cards, that's immediately 300 damage with Resentful Refrain. And plus, Mega Froslass, once they see it, they're likely to play around its hand size. So that's why we're playing the likes of Lucian. Other than that, really, there's not really a huge amount of things that I would recommend for this list. A second Air Balloon could be nice, like I say, the Dragalge does have a 2 retreat cost. Whereas most of the Pokemon, bar the Dunsparce EX, has a 1 retreat cost. And of course, the Dunsparce, you don't really retreat with it, but, Another card you could consider is Chorus's Tenacity. That could be a nice one as well. Because obviously that grabs you your Paris Jungle, your Water Energies, your Dark Energies, and your Legacy. That could potentially be something. Obviously, I mainly went with Hilda, because Hilda just, finds its evolutions and stuff. But other than that, really, I don't really think there's anything that needs to change. Other than a Fez. You could add a Fez, but I've not needed it so far. So, let's get into a match and see how we do. And welcome to our first match. Paired up against someone in Tyranitar rank, whilst we're all the way down in Cutiefly rank. The matchmaker is proving its worth once again. Don't worry, that's sarcasm. It's just how it is, unfortunately. So far, I've found that this deck likes going first as well, but you can go second. It's not the end of the world. Ooh! Ooh, that's horrible. Oh, that is a horrible start. Even if I was going second, I'd hate that. Oh, it's Mega Starmie. Okay. How many mulligans do we get? Just the 1. Yeah, we've got Risky Ruins, Mega Starmie, Hilda, stuff like that. Okay. We need this mulligan to be bloody good, is all I'll say. Because the Dunsparce EX isn't going to save us here. Unless they bench like a shed load of EXs, which I severely doubt. They're benching a lot of Pokemon, which they really shouldn't be, but yeah, that mulligan is terrible. Yeah, not a single EX, oh boy. Well, there's a Poké Pad. That does get us a Skrelp at the very least. So let's have a look at the prize cards. So we've got both Dragalges in the deck, we've got both Froslass in the deck, but we have prize of Snorunt, so that's fine. We've got Roxie in there as well, that's pretty nice. We've got the Legacy in there as well. Yeah, we're not really doing a lot here, I'll be honest. We'll attach Dark, and we'll pass. See, what I might have to do is I might have to go Hilda for the Dunsparce and hope we hit Dragalge and just go from there. I bet you, I swear, if you have Salvatore, I was going to say, if you have Salvatore, I'm going to cry. Yeah, that would suck, but, well, thankfully they haven't got it, so that's good. They could go Water Gun here and go for 20, because that is relevant if I can't get this Dudunsparce or this Dunsparce out. And obviously they can boss the Skrelp, so they could go for that if they want, but they don't have to. There's a Buddy Poffin. There's another Snorunt. The Snorunts are definitely going to be a problem, because obviously Mega Froslass is a big problem for us. And yeah, they're going for the Water Gun play. I don't blame them, you know, like... Oh, I've just realised they have Bubbly Energy. Oh boy, okay, that's a problem for us, because... Yeah, we kind of need to do something. I think, honestly, I attach Water here, and I go Lilies instead of Hilda. Oh boy, okay, well... I can get the Dunsparce, but then I don't really do anything because they have Bubbly Energy. It's like, that energy just completely shuts us down. But then again, I could discard it. I could discard it, but in fact, no, I can't, because it's... Is it special conditions? Okay, no, it's not. It's fine. We can do it. So let's go for you and you. We will grab ourselves a Snorunt. And then we'll run away draw. We got the Dragalge. Nice. So I'll go into the Skrelp. We'll go into Mega Dragalge. I'll play the Poké Pad just so we have that down. I think I grabbed Dunsparce here. So we'll do that, Corrosive Liquid. That then discards the energy, because I can't do anything with Pernicious Poison. I've just got to hope they're not playing 4 of these, because it's going to be really tricky for us to deal with if they are. If they're playing 4 Bubblies, we're probably in a bad spot here. But we've just got to do what we can do, you know. There's not really any option for me. I mean, the worst case scenario, they go, not that. I wasn't bothered about the Crispin, to be honest. I mean, the Crispin is a problem because they can now go Dark on Monkey, Water to Starmie, and they can take out probably my Dunsparce out of my draw. And yeah, they're going to attach the Monkey. Oh boy, they're probably going to take out the Dunsparce because the Dunsparce is part of our draw engine. They could also take out a Snorunt, but maybe you can respond on the Starmie. Yeah, they're taking out Dunsparce because that's our engine. Fair enough. I appreciate the hustle. And Jetted Blow for 120, take out the Dunsparce. Okay, well, luckily our Perilous Jungle is going to come in clutch here. So that's at least something. And even if they bump it, they still will go down to poison. So that's good. Okay, there's Lucian. So we'll do that. I don't need to attach anything, so I'm just going to Lilies for 8 cards. Okay, that's pretty good. There's E-Hammer for later as well. So let's get another Skrelp down. We'll attach to the Skrelp. I'll bench my own Monkey, just in case we can get that established. I don't need to establish Monkey this turn. But still. We'll go for the Poké Pad, grab the Dunsparce. I mean, technically I could have set up Munkidori here, but still. Let's go for the Pernicious Poison. And 80 damage counters are applied to the Mega Starmie. My only concern is if they have access to Nebula Beam this turn. Which, if they do, that's a problem. But also if they can heal this Mega Starmie. So he's going to go in with the... So hold on, he heals 18. He heals 60 here, sorry. So that takes him to 210. So he does survive the turn. Does he have knockout? No, he's shot a knockout. Okay, that's fine. That is completely fine, because I can actually go into Mega Froslass potentially this turn. There's their own Froslass. They could go in with their own Froslass if they have an air balloon. That could be an option. They could also take out the backup Skrelp, which would be a problem. So I'm kind of hoping they don't do that. This is really tough. We're really struggling in this matchup. I mean, the bubbly energy, straight off the bat, that was already a problem. It meant we had to use Corrosive Liquid for attack, not Pernicious Poison, so that was already a problem. But, yeah, this is not looking good. Do they have knockout here? No, they're 30 short on the knockout, so that's fine. But no, this is really problematic. I could just let them go down to poison in between turns. Like, I could go Munkidori attach, but then I'm not attaching to Skrelp. It's like, I don't know. I think they're thinking where to put this damage. And they're going to go for the Skrelp. Makes sense. I mean, you know, that is my backup attacker after all. Even with these monkey heals, as long as I can go turn attachment to my Munkidori, we should be okay. We should be okay. Like I said, the issue is the Mega Froslass. But we'll try and deal with that anyway. They're going to go 30 onto the Snorunt. What are they going to take out, though? Are they going to take out a Froslass or a Snorunt, or are they going to take out a Skrelp? Let's see what they do here. Actually, no, hold on. They go down to poison in between turns. In fact, no, they don't. They go down to Munkidori damage off. That's really good. That is really good. Hold on. We might be cooking here. So first of all, I'm going to evolve that so they don't have any funny business. I'll evolve the Dunsparce. Attach the Monkey. Adrenabrain, take out the Starmie. So that's that gone, at the very least. If we can find a boss, we might... There's Meowth. We could boss the Froslass now. We could boss the Froslass and take that out. That's really good. That is goated, man. That is so good. We can boss the Froslass now. Put some 18... We can put 18 damage on it. That is so good. That is so good. So I'll go Meowth for last ditch catch, because we haven't played a support for turn. We'll grab a boss. Boss the Froslass. Do I want to play... I'm not going to play that now, because we could get potentially hand disrupted here. But then we'll go Pernicious Poison. 18 damage counters onto the Froslass. So if they do not retreat this turn, we win. Because we could just go Munkidori Adrenabrain, take this out. Because even with the heals, that brings them to 190, and then all I have to do is Munkidori some damage off, which we do have more damage available on the Froslass. So they lose this turn if they can't get this thing out the active. And I heavily doubt they're playing the likes of Switch. If they brought up the Mega Froslass, I would have grabbed Roxie off of Meowth and stopped them from retreating, so it would have forced them to find Switch. They're going to last ditch catch. What are they going to grab off of that? A Crispin. Okay. They could be healing quite a lot here, which is a big concern. Do they have game here? No, not if they get 3 monkeys up. They don't have game if they get 3 monkeys up. Let's see. They could heal this thing quite a lot, though, but then they don't have anything, you know? They can heal it for 18, but then we just win. Oh, there's Legacy Energy. That's actually an issue. But wait, this is effective attacks, isn't it? Yeah, so we could be okay here? I'm not sure. Because 270... We have game. I think this is game, you know, folks. Hold on. Because if they don't heal this poison... So it goes down to 90. So that's fine. It then takes 18 again. We then Adrenabrain to get it even closer. And then it died. Well, in fact, we don't even need to Adrenabrain. Because they'll take 18 at the end of their turn. And then they'll take 18 at the end of my turn. So we have game. That is game. We just need to pass turn. Wow. I did not think we was going to win this one, to be honest, folks. We just win. We just pass turn and they die to poison. And we take 3 prize cards. Because Legacy Energy is a damage from an attack. Not effective attack. And that is game. That's why you read your cards, people. That was so close. I did not think we was going to win that matchup, but honestly, that went really well. The fact that, you know, Mega Dragalge got to do that is insane. We took down 2 Megas, and most importantly, we played around that Legacy Energy beautifully. Thankfully, they didn't have a bubbly energy, but, you know, we could have potentially done something if they did. Anyway, let's go to a Game 2. And welcome back to Game 2. That went really well there against Mega Starmie with Froslass. I didn't think it was going to win that one, to be honest, folks, but thankfully, because they didn't have a bubbly energy, which appeared to be only a one of, thankfully, in their list, the fact that we was able to take advantage of the humongous poison damage was what won us the game there. And also the fact that, you know, Legacy Energy is damage from an attack, not an effect of an attack. So that is also pretty good. But no, we did alright there, I think. First again, then. Why not? Like, we started off pretty poor, and to be honest, I didn't think it was going to win that because they knocked out our second Skrelp. But, you know what? I'll take it. This is not a great hand, no, I will say, for my start. This is not very good. Not very Gucci, as the kids would say. If they still say that, I don't know. I'm old. A Badoo. Okay. The air balloon's nice, but I need something more. Our Poké Pads. I'll just grab a Skrelp. I can't really do anything with his hand. Bench that, attach water. Do that as well. Pass. Because even if we get the Dunsparce, I can shuffle this air balloon back in the deck. It's not a big deal, but yeah, this is a horrible hand, and I'm really hoping we get something off the top. Or maybe the opponent might play Judge for turn, although I doubt it. Duskull, I'm smelling Port Noir, which is a problem. Yeah, it's Port Noir. Okay, this could be a problem. I mean, the poison damage will be pretty good because they don't really have a way to cure it, which is good. But, you know, we still need to be considerate of, you know, we could be in trouble here. So let's see. And Itchy Pollen. Sorry if you heard a thingy then. I think it's the mailman. Alright. Well, we ain't doing squat with this. I could start plinking with Hook for 10, but I can't do anything. This hand is completely dead. You know, if they get Candy Dust Noir, Candy Polt, we just lose. Candy Dust Noir, Candy Polt, boss one of the guys on the bench, Phantom Dive with Crispin. And they're going to boss. They're going to bring up the Skrelp. Okay. He's going to Itchy Pollen. Okay. Interesting he's bringing up the Skrelp, though. That's not what I thought he would have done. That's good. We can get that back in the deck now. So we'll run away draw. And we get a Lillies. Excellent. So we will play said Lillies. We do need a miracle, though. Okay. You don't really get to do anything here. I mean, to be fair, they didn't really establish anything, so I think it's fine to hit for 10 here. Is it fine to hit for 10 here? I think it's fine. They're not really doing anything. You know, hitting for 10 doesn't seem like a lot, but, you know, the only issue is if obviously, you know, they can get Mega Thingy established, so that will Dragon Ball established, so I mean. Oh, they've got the Monkey. Okay, that's a problem. They've got Meowth for Last Ditch Catch, which could be an issue. We can go in with Mega Froslass with Legacy Energy at the very least, so that is something. We can take out this Badoo this turn, but I would prefer to boss this Dreepy. They're going to pronk the Risky Ruins on their Mega, well, on their Meowth. I keep saying Mega for some reason. I think my brain's just fried, but whatever, it's fine. There's Dracloak. There's Buddy Poffin. A top deck of boss would go a long way here. Let's put it that way. That'd be really nice. Because like I say, we can go Froslass, Legacy, boss Dracloak, go from there. Because I'm not taking out Meowth. There's no point. Because we can deal with this Badoo later with this 20 damage on this Skrelp. So, you know, we can live with that. There's Buddy Poffin. I think my only choice here is to do exactly what I said. So then we'll free retreat. Well, I say free retreat, you know what I mean. Resentful Refrain at 350. I think this is my only option, because we don't really have anything going for us. We have no Monkey to heal off the edge and take out Badoo, and then potentially, you know, get something going afterwards. They have Draclo immediate promotion, which is already a concern. I don't like that. There's Fire Energy. There's another Monkey. Did they have Crispin for that? But even then, they'd have to put Crispin here and hope they can find their Pult. There's Lilies. So no Dragapult this turn. That's very good for us. That is really good for us, because now we can set up our board a little bit more. I'm really happy with this. Plus, we can take off their Risky Ruins as well. We can get our Monkey established as well and start flinging damage their way. Because we can take this 20 damage off the Skrelp, which will be nice. There's a Recon. I'm more surprised at the fact that we're holding our own here, but, well, you know, we have to do what we can do. Are they going to go into Pult? There's no way you go into Pult here, right? There's no way you go into Pult here. They're going to go Clops. Are they going to Clops the Skrelp? That feels kind of bad if you do that. I don't know why you would do that, because that puts me on evens. They're going to Curse Blast. I'm probably going to take out the Skrelp. Why would you do that, though? That feels so bad. Right. But you've just put me back on evens, so if I boss your Meowth, I only have to take 2 more prize cards. I don't know what my opponent's playing at here. That was a really poor move. Like, yeah, you cut off my Skrelp, but it's like, you know, if you're literally just doing that to bench Fez, you've already attached for turn. Are you literally doing that just to stamp? Bro. Bro's... Oh my god, that is dead. But Bro's literally just done that just to stamp and Jet Hub on me for 70. Like, why? Like, yeah, this hand is awful, I agree. But, you know, flip the script. They need to thin their hand, otherwise I knock out this Pult. They have to play cards down. If they do not, I kill this Pult. Why would you do that? Just to stamp? Oh, now you've worked it out. That was such a weird play. I don't know why they did that. Oh, well, I'm just drawing Perilous Jungles, apparently. Resentful Refrain 400. Yeah, we are really struggling here. That unfair stamp was extremely horrible to us. I am not playing this unless I have to. Oh boy, because they have to play double Crispin back to back just to get these Pults swinging. And I severely doubt they're playing, you know, that much. Stop drawing cards! Has this guy never played against Mega Froslass? I don't think he has. Recon, so that's 13 cards in hand now. Unless Neo Opera is a race spec, I don't... Well, then again, no, you've already played Stamp. What am I on about? My brain's a little bit frazzled. I'm recording this one not long after the build and battle, so my brain's a little bit cuckoo, to say the least. And I do apologise for this being mainly a Mega Froslass segment of video, but, well, it's in the deck for a reason, folks. This is my backup attacker, and it is going to be using... Well, I'm going to be trying to use it. They're going to attach... They have to retreat. You can't Jet Headbutt here. I do 700 damage. You cannot do anything here, mate. You have to do something. Okay. There's no way you Jet Headbutt here, surely. You do not Jet Headbutt here. You have to retreat this. Night Stretcher, but you've already attached for turn. There is no way you pass with this in the active. No way. There is absolutely no way you do. Lily's for 6, so they are doing something. They are playing around it. Poké Pads. It took you that long to figure it out. That's quite concerning for you, my friend. Ultra Ball. They're trying to thin the hand down, but I have Lucian, so that's fine. Why did you draw all those cards anyway, then? That's just a waste of resources. And yeah, Jet Headbutt for 70. Okay, that's fine. So we have to play Lucian. And actually, no. But then again, no. Lillie's lets me see more cards. Potentially, anyway. I'm just going Lillie's. Okay, there's Munkidori. Munkidori's pretty good here. So let's play a Poké Pad. We'll grab ourselves a Skrelp. So we'll do that. I'm going to run away draw before I put down Munkidori. I want to see what else I can get. Okay, nothing really good. But I can at least move this damage off. So let's go for Adrenabrain. We'll move it onto the Duskull. And I'll plink for 100. I don't need to Lucian it. Lillie's guarantees me all the cards that I could possibly need. And if they do not do anything this turn, and they keep their hand size at 3, we have game with Munkidori plus boss. So they have to do something here. There's no sugarcoating it. If they boss Monkey, that puts us a turn behind. But even then, we could potentially draw into a recovery card. Oh, this is stressful. There's their own Monkey, so they're probably going to heal the Duskull, which is an issue. But if we draw second Monkey, we're still fine. They're going to Petrol, maybe for red card. That's the only reason I can think of. No, they're grabbing Crispin. So, hold on. So you Adrenabrain. But, you know, what do you do after this? That's the thing. Yeah, you take out Skrelp if you want to, but it's like, what do you do after that, you know? He's putting it on the Froslass? No. You're pulling my leg, surely. You are absolutely pulling my leg. Right, okay. Let's go Air Balloon. We'll attach Dark to the Skrelp, and we'll Lillies. Okay. Not the worst, but not the best. Ooh. What do I do here? Because I'm not really doing anything, that's the issue. Because, hold on, I'm doing 150, that's 130. I don't knock this pull out. And even if I heal it, Mega Froslass goes down. So I think what I have to do here is I have to Ultra Ball away Lucian and Boss. And I need to grab, I think, Mega Dragalge. I think I need to grab Dragalge to just protect my Skrelp as my backup attacker. So I think that's what I do here. So then we'll Adrenabrain. We'll move the 30 to the pull. It doesn't really matter. And then we'll refrain for 150. Because either way, they are still taking 2 prize cards here. But I'm trying to deny them as much spread opportunity as possible. The Monkey here will have some good value, which is good. They could take out Snorunt, but then they don't really do anything after that. There's another Crispin. Jeez. This is actually quite a stressful matchup, I will say, but we are getting there, so to speak. They're going to put the fire on that Dracloak, that's fine. So if we get double Monkey established, we are in such good business, but I genuinely don't think we can. He's going to retreat into the fresh pull. That's fine. Okay. So he can Adrenabrain, put it on the Snorunt, take 3 prizes in total with the Legacy Energy considered. But then after that, what does he really do? Could he, if I manage to get double Monkey established, I can take out that I can take out this guy, and hopefully we can do something. But I might have to play Crispin for turn, in case we whiff on water. Oh, this is a tough matchup. He's going to heal a little bit on the Dragapult on the bench. So now even if we do establish double Monkey, we are still in not good business, to say the least. So he's going to Phantom Dive, take 3 prizes. Oh boy. This is tough. He's going to put all 6 on the Snorunt, so my Monkey doesn't have value. Makes complete sense. Legacy Energy kicks in, so he only takes 3, not 4. So we'll promote the Dragalge. Hops Cram. Hops Cram is offline right now. I think, to play it safe, I Crispin. So we'll do that. So we'll go you. I'll double attach the monkey, and then we'll pernicious poison. So even with the heal, they have to retreat this. Even with the healer monkey, they have to retreat this. There's no sugarcoating it. Oh boy, this is stressful. So like I say, we need, in order to win this next turn, we'd need Dark, plus we would need Munkidori. I don't think my second one was in the deck. But like I say, they have to retreat this Dragapult because it dies to poison. They have to retreat it. And there's Lillie's. Okay, that's fine. We don't have a backup attacker after this, though, so if Dragalge goes down this turn, we just lose. Do they have Candy? Yeah, they have game. That's really unfortunate. We were so close to beating Pult, but we just couldn't do it. We didn't really get a good setup in the first turn, and, you know, the constant pressure of Phantom Dive was just too much for us. Even with the Legacy energy, we wasn't able to win that game, but you know what? I'll take it. That was a really fun game. Let's go to a game 3. And welcome back to game 3. That was a really unfortunate loss to Pult there. I had a feeling they had a Candy just waiting around, and well, they was able to get the Poké Pad for the Dusknoir and was able to take advantage of that. That's so unfortunate. We were so close to winning that, but you know, every deck does struggle at times, and, well, even with a Fez, we wouldn't have won that game. Fez would have just been another target for him. So, you know, the deck's been running fine without Fez, so I don't honestly think you need Fez in this particular deck, but, you know. Let's see what we can do. We do start a Skrelp, which is pretty good. So I'm going to start it. Lucario. Okay, this is where our Perilous Junkles have come into play. This will be interesting. Okay, Rocky Fighting Energy. All effects for set. It's another one of those, eh? So I'm going to need my hammer and hope it's not prized. Let's have a look. Let's see if hammer's prized, because if it is... Okay, no it's not. That's fine. It just means it could be a bit tricky for us later down the line. Because if they're playing Quad Rocky, which is a high chance, not really a lot I can do here, Chief. I'm going to touch to the one on the bench, and I'm going to pass. This is where, like, you know, with how many prevent all effects of attacks come along, it's just so much to deal with. And yeah, they're playing double Rocky. It's like, what can I do here? This is basically an auto loss because of this. So yeah, I'm just going to scoop it. We'll go to a game 4 because I literally cannot do anything about this. This stops Corrosive Liquid, so I literally can't do anything. Let's go to a game 4. Well, that's now 2 confirmed auto losses for this deck. Mega Lucario and Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Yeah, probably a Mega Lopunny, if you're not playing like Quad E-Hammer, is also an auto loss, so yeah. There's a few auto losses for this deck, which is quite a shame, even with, you know, the Mega Froslass. But, you know, you're never going to win every single matchup, and, like, Mega Dragalge is never going to be a top tier deck, so, you know, it's not the bad sort of thing, but, you know, it's just something to consider if you do decide to build this deck IRL. There is a lot of decks that just don't care about your attack. Yes, Mega Froslass is helpful, but it's something to consider is all I'm trying to say. So we do start Monkey. I'm pretty happy with that. They do get a mulligan. And it's Dragapult again. Okay, this could be tough. There's the Dunsparce. That's fine. So we'll go Skrelp Dunsparce. I'll prize check next turn. It's not a big deal. I'll attach water to the Skrelp and we'll pass. As long as you're not packing any mist energy, which I hope you're not. See, like, if it was a case of, you know, Dragalge's effective attack is, oh, it ignores, you know, any special energy in your opponent's Pokemon, we'd be fine. You know, we wouldn't need to play Enhanced Hammer and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just something to consider, is all I'll say. You do have to play an E-Hammer just to make sure you have at least somewhat of a chance in certain matchups. But, you know, they're going to grab a Lillie's off of the Meowth attached to the Dreepy on the bench. And Lillie's. We need to try and get some Froslasses down, because Froslass is going to really be good in this matchup, as we saw in the last game. Froslass is pretty good against Dragapult. Oh, it's Pult Noir again. Oh boy, this could be tough. And just a pass. That is fine. There's Legacy, which is pretty good. I'm going to Dunsparce first in case we hit Air Balloon, because you never know. Okay. I could... I think, honestly, I just attached to the Skrelp. And again, I attached the Monkey and then I Lillies. We don't need to get a Dragalge off immediately, which is the nice thing. So that's at least something. And then I think I just passed. They're not really, you know, they're not threatening Phantom Dive immediately, which is good. But, you know, Dragalge is going to need to be pulling in some serious weight this game. But hopefully that Dunsparce draw will get us what we need. Because I would like to have double Monkey established in this matchup. That would be nice. But we'll price check once with Crispin. I know it's a bit late to be doing price checking, but after the games we've had today, I'm surprised this deck's done this well, to be honest. Okay, they've got a Fire to attach to Dreepy. They've got the Clops. Okay. And they've got the Lillies. The Clops isn't a huge concern, but if it evolves into a Noir, it's where we need to be concerned. Ultra Ball. Probably going to set up a Dragloak this turn. Ultra Ball away, double Poffin. Yep, there's the Dragloak with the Master Ball. At least we know we can put up a fight against Dragapult, which is the nice thing, but, well, you know, it's one of those matchups where, like, you need to consider, you know, multiple things. So just remember that if you do decide to play this deck, you do need to consider a few matchups. So there's Ultra Ball. They're probably going to establish another Dragloak. And they are. That's fine. They don't pop Clops here, surely. There's no reason to pop Clops. Let's see what they do. So they've got another Dragloak. That's fine. But no, honestly, I didn't think this deck was going to hold its own so well against what, you know, we ran into. But, you know, that's just something to consider. I mean, you know, you could consider a tech card for Pult, but, you know, something to think about. Okay, well, there's a Buddy Poffin. Let's grab ourselves a couple of Snorunt. In fact, I'm going to grab one Snorunt, one Dunsparce. I think that's fine. So we'll do that. Runaway draw. Boss would have been nice, but we'll live with it. I'm tempted to just go Legacy Dragalge and just see what happens. But at the same time, it's like I don't need to rush. But I think at the same time, taking an early prize card could matter here. Because they're likely going to go Phantom Dive next turn. I think we just do that. So we'll retreat into the Dragalge. Attach Legacy. We'll then Crispin. We'll get that Dark re-established on the Monkey. We don't need to reveal the Stadium, so we will just Pernicious Poison. So they do not get Fez value now. So if they Ultra Ball for Fez, they will find that is not the case. Although, given the blinkness of their cards, I would imagine this opponent knows a thing or two. But, you know, could be a case of the opponent doesn't know. But I doubt it myself. Let's see what they can do. So they're going to Recon. Plus, as well, they need to play around Froslass. So if I can get Froslass going, I will, because Froslass is one of our better attackers in this deck. And if they do not play around Froslass, that is really good for us. They've got the Crispin, so that probably means they've got Pult in hand, because they would play that if they didn't have Pult. So that's bad, but we can deal with it. It's not the end of the world. There goes Fire, so Psychic's going to come to the active. They've definitely got Pult in hand. They wouldn't have a reason to do this if they didn't. Recon. There's no way you're playing a Crispin without a Pult in hand. There's no way. There's no way you do not have Pult in that hand. There it is. I thought you would. I thought you had Pult in your hand, to be honest. Okay, are they going to pop the Clops? They could pop Clops here. There's Dreepy, that's fine. Like I say, if they pop Clops here, that could be a bad thing. They're not going to pop the Clops. Okay. They're probably saving it for Noir to finish off Dragalge later, which is probably the best thing they can do. Now, they could spread it along to not give me full monkey, but I get full monkey value anyway, so I'm happy with that. So, let's see what we can do here. There's a Lillies, so I'm going to go Mega Froslass, Perilous Jungle. We don't need to put down the jungle, but it's just so we have it as an option. We'll do that, and then we will Lillies. If we can get another monkey established, that'd be really good. Because I didn't check if it's in there, so let's have a quick look. It is in there, good. We're going to need that. So we'll go Ultra Ball these two away. We can grab ourselves... I'll actually grab the Dunsparce, because then we can keep any draw in case we get hand disrupted later. So we'll definitely do that. So then we will Adrenabrain. This doesn't really matter where it goes, because... Well, then again, does it? So hold on, 16, 18... It doesn't matter where it goes because of the damage output. I'm probably just going to dump it on this Dreepy. It doesn't hugely matter. And then we'll go for a Pernicious Poison, putting 18 damage counters on the Dragapult. Which, obviously, as we've already established... I mean, we could have gone Meowth for the Roxie supporter, but, again, that feels like a bad use of Roxie in this situation. Because of the Clops, really. Like, this can become a Noir, and that's my main concern. I'm worried about this becoming a Noir, and then they can obviously go Phantom Dive with, you know, Munkidori and stuff like that, and they can potentially take multi-prize turns. I don't like that. I'm happy for them to, you know, get Skrelp here, but, you know, we still have Froslass, so I'm not hugely worried, but this is a major concern at this point in the game. But if they attack with this pull, they go down to poison damage, we go down to 3 prize cards, and we can potentially do something here. So, you know, we have options here, but maybe Roxie was probably the right call here. They're going to Curse Blast. They're going to put it on the Monkey. They are 1 damage counter short if they choose to not go for the Monkey KO here. If they choose to go for the Skrelp, that is. They are 1 damage counter short. So let's see what they do. They're going to Phantom Dive, so they do lose their Dragapult. So we just need buffs for game. We just need buffs for game with Froslass. So they're probably going to take out Monkey here, but they could also take out Skrelp. No, they don't take out Skrelp. Okay. So Legacy Energy kicks in, but obviously Munkidori goes down as well, so they still take 3 prize cards. So let's go into the Mega Froslass. They die to Poison. So that's good. If we get a boss off of this, we win. We don't get boss, that's fine. Okay. There's Lucian. So we'll go right draw. Okay. I could grab back that Dragalge just to protect my board. But do I value Monkey here, is my question. Because I can't take game this turn. Do I value the Monkey more? Because Monkey lets me put damage counters on this, but it's like, I don't know. I think to play it safe, I'd grab Dragalge. So we'll go Mega Dragalge, attach Dark. I'm not going to bench this Dunsparce. Do I Lucian here? I don't know. I think I'll just Lillies to play it safe. There's the boss that we needed. That's unfortunate. So we'll Resentful Refrain for 400 damage and take out the Dragloak. I really wish we would have had game there, but unfortunately didn't. Let's see. Because if they don't thin this hand down enough, we have game on Meowth. Mega Froslass was easily the best choice in this deck. It has put in so much work in these games. There's Ultra Ball, so they have the pull. There goes Double Badoo. Their probably best hope here is boss to Dragalge and hope I don't have anything. If they red card us, we could be in trouble. I'm kind of hoping they don't red card us. So yeah, they've got the Dragapult. Let's see if they can find their red card. And yeah, they've got the red card. That's really unfortunate. Okay. Well, this is problematic, but we can deal with it. They go to Lilies for 6. Okay. Well, we can still potentially find boss, but it's a very low chance. How many bosses have they played? They've not played a single boss. Yeah, we probably just lose here, folks. Scoop up Cyclone as your A-spec? Bro, are you serious? Why is you playing that in pull? Oh my god. Why is he playing that in pull? I just... Oh my lord. That feels rough, but... Yeah, this is not good. The only way in which we win now is we top deck boss. And that's it. There's nothing else. But, yeah, they shouldn't have benched this Dreepy. If this is their strategy, they should have benched the Dreepy, but... Well... Let's hope. Let's hope. I don't think we win from here, but... You know, they've played this pretty superbly, but... Why are you playing this as your ace tag? That's what I want to know. But, anyway. So that's Phantom Dive. Top deck a boss. That is not a boss. So I'm going to do that. And we'll go to Lilies. And we don't even get the energy we needed. We just lose here, unfortunately. Do I have any other options? No. I can't get anything else established here. That sucks so much. We were so close to the win, but... Hey, Mega Dragalge did what it could. I will take it. We had fun playing this deck. I didn't think I would. But honestly, I'm really impressed with this deck. But the main thing holding this deck back, and as you can imagine in the Atra section now, yeah, this deck is fun. But yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. So, what did I think to the deck? This deck is really solid, you know, it has a lot of things going for it, because, you know, that damage poison is actually kind of bonkers when you think about it. But at the same time, you know, there's so many answers in the format, you know, there's bubbly water energy now, there's the rocky fighting energy, there's mist energy, you know, there's a lot of special energies which are seeing play that just completely nullify your strategy. And the problem is, if you're playing so many hammers and, you know, you're relying on the corrosive or the corrosive liquid attack, the problem is because it's an effect of an attack, it stops everything completely. The only thing that doesn't get stopped by it is bubbly water energy, because that doesn't stop effective attacks, but rocky fight energy and also the mist energy do stop it. So maybe one day when those cards, you know, see less play, maybe one day Mega Dragalge could see a bit more competitive play. That could be something to consider, but other than that, I don't think this deck is going to be meta anytime soon. In terms of changes, obviously we discussed in the decklist section what I think could be added. I think, honestly, we might need a pull answer, and it's not going to be a pretty one, to say the least. You know, like, we could start, you know, we could potentially play something that just a lot, like, we obviously play Crispins and stuff like that, we obviously play basic energy and things like that. But I think maybe you could consider a 1 Psychic, 1 Clefairy package, just to give you an extra advantage. And also that fixes your Lucario matchup, because you can then take out their Lucarios a lot easier if they're running double Rockies and stuff like that. Other than that, really, this deck doesn't really need to change too much, but, you know, there are a few things to consider, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up in this intro, or this exit section, so to speak, or the outro, if you know what I mean. But honestly, I didn't think I was going to enjoy this deck, but I really enjoyed it. Anywho, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Mega Dragalge with Froslass, and I'll see you next time.